From a clash between Aaron Reagan and Eddie Janko to a major blunder in the law, Blue Blood fans rage as they expose a stupid plot hole in Aaron Reagan's court evidence. Let me tell you that what just went down in this Blue Blood Season 13 episode was unbelievable. This mistake was, in fact, what we call a real whopper. What might it be, you ask? Well, we all know the relationship between Aaron Reagan and Eddie Janko, but their latest clash pales in comparison to the epic fail the show just committed. A fan who clearly knows their stuff when it comes to the law spotted a glaring mistake during a murder case that went to court. And get this, guys, it's not just a little slip-up. It's a massive error that the showrunners should be ashamed of. I mean, come on. How could they let this slip through the cracks? The show has been running for over a decade. And as much as everyone loves Blue Bloods, let's be real. Numerous creative choices made by the writers have left fans scratching their heads, including the most recent one. In case your memory is a bit hazy, here's what went down in the episode. Simply put, officers Eddie and Louise Badillo responded to a stabbing, where a young girl confessed to the crime. But oh boy, did things spiral out of control from there. Eddie, being the know-it-all that she is, advised the girl not to talk to anyone without a lawyer present.
You took away anti-crime. You cut my numbers in the field every day.
So it's my fault some crazy person fired into a busload of teenagers? That a kid got shot at a playground, that's on me?
And this infuriated Assistant District Attorney Aaron, who then went head-to-head with Eddie in a major feud that was more explosive than a stick of dynamite. The tension between the two was high as they confronted each other. But the drama didn't stop there. Eddie, being the troublemaker, called Aaron's ex-husband Jack Boyle, who just so happens to be a defense attorney. Talk about stirring the pot. And obviously, Aaron was left fuming that she wasn't given a heads up about Jack's return. I mean, obviously she was sad because everyone thought that Eddie and Aaron were friends. But I guess not anymore. But that's not the biggest issue here. No. Fans were left stunned when the case went to court with a blatant disregard for the law. Can you say major mistake? And some fans were so livid that they took to social media to express their outrage. So hold on to your hats, folks, because the drama is far from over. Redditor user Dana07620 took to the fan page to unleash their fury at a major error. And I can't blame them. Now, according to this eagle-eyed fan, they couldn't get past the stupidity in Friday's episode. They further explained that said stupidity was Aaron saying it was too late now as the knife purchase was tracked after the grand jury declined to indict. But now that everyone's thought about it, the show made a huge mistake when Aaron Reagan declared that, because, as the fan went on to explain, there is no double jeopardy with grand juries. No, it doesn't end there. In fact, when new evidence arises, it can be represented to the grand jury for further consideration. They also went on to explain how, quote, a grand jury just decides if someone is going to be indicted, which leads them to being tried, unquote. I mean, come on. How could they not know that double jeopardy only applies to the actual trial and not the grand jury stage?
You and me, together.
I need people to feel safe in this city.
Any update on that mother's boy in the hospital?
Eli Chesnick had surgery to remove the bullet.
I mean, are the writers of Blue Bloods living under a rock? How on earth can they make such a basic mistake? As for the fans' last remark on the whole crazy situation, they explain that if a person's not under arrest, there's no hurry on the grand jury because there's no clock on charging them. I mean, that's a valid point raised by the fan on the forum. So it honestly just seems like the writers of Blue Bloods might have overlooked this important detail. Someone did not do their research right at all, as the fan goes on to say how she has more legal information than the writers of Blue Blood, and all she did was watch Law and Order for 20 years. That's pretty hilarious, actually. And as confusion and frustration among fans across the globe grows, they're demanding answers. Yep, user Dana wasn't the only one. Another fan by the name of user KKai97, as a matter of fact, agreed and stated that, I thought thought the same thing. My first thought was that she jumped the gun on the grand jury, but even so, she can represent. Basically, she could have represented the evidence instead of creating all this drama. To add to this, another fan called user Ghostwriter623 was left scratching their head at the bizarre turn of events as well. They were confused as to why she'd ask for the knife to be found and then not wait for the answers. Well, I wish I knew, but I was just as confused as everybody else. Now, if you're thinking the blunders end here, you've got another thing coming. It turns out fans have even more questions. For instance, they want to know why Assistant District Attorney Erin Regan and her colleague Anthony are even handling the investigation in the first place. Like, for real, why them out of everyone else? Is there a hidden plot twist going on or something? As one confused Redditor pointed out, why are she and Anthony handling the investigation? This one was just bizarre. I can't agree more, honestly. And things get crazier as despite their complicated history, Erin and her ex-husband, Jack Boyle, went up against each other in court. I mean, come on. How much more drama is there going to be? And if you thought that was all, then oh boy, it's not. There was the whole shebang with Erin being convinced that the murder was premeditated. But unfortunately for her, she didn't have any evidence to support her claims. And as a result, Jack emerged victorious in court. I don't even know how I feel about that, honestly. As if things weren't already tense enough, it seems that the future of Eddie and Erin's friendship is now up in the air as well, because Erin was super mad that Eddie called her ex-husband out of nowhere. I mean, who wouldn't find that situation frustrating? So, fans of Blue Bloods will have to now tune into next week to find out if these two can find a way to reconcile and move forward. I mean, will they be able to put their differences aside and work together again? Or will this feud tear them apart for good? The uncertainty is driving fans wild with anticipation and speculation. But one thing is for sure, this latest episode of Blue Bloods has left fans with more questions than answers. And everyone is left wondering whether Erin and Eddie will be able to mend their friendship. Say what you will, but that's a lot of drama to wait on, which, if I am being honest, is too much. Especially seeing that the Blue Blood showrunners have remained silent on the huge scandal so far. Yep, you heard that right. They've been hush-hush about the latest episode's mistakes and inconsistencies. This lack of response from the show's creators has only fueled the fire, and left fans even more intrigued and curious about what's going on behind the scenes.
Car plate was altered, but we were able to locate him using a bumper sticker and an anonymous tip. 5 times for aggravated harassment and assault, but gets released every time.
And he's been in and out of mental hospitals his whole life.
I mean, are the showrunners aware of the mistakes made in the latest episode? Or do they plan to address these issues in future episodes? Or will they just sweep the whole thing under the rug and move on? Fans of the show are on the edge of their seats waiting for answers. So, there you have it. That's all about how Blue Blood fans rage as they expose stupid plot holes in Erin Regan's court evidence.